All right, time for the daily break and run. So I filmed this while I was playing around, playing against what I call the semi-pro ghost. So the ghost is break the balls, take ball in hand. If you run out, you win, and if you miss, you lose. Um, the what I call the semi-pro ghost is just a little bit harder. It is you get no ball in hand after the break. If you scratch on the break, you lose. Uh, and then the rest of the rules are, if you miss, you lose. So it's just a little bit harder. But if you don't make a ball on the break, you keep shooting. Well, in the first couple of racks here, these are true break and run. This is a true two pack here. Um, the uh, the biggest issue with this first rack was the long two ball that I shot. It was bottom inside English to kill it off the rail to give me the leave on the three. And then the rest of these are just sitting out, kind of duck season. So here, I'm on the wrong side of this seven. I start to get down to draw it, and I'm like, that's the wrong angle. So I'm going to have to stun it against the rail. And since the eight is right by the pocket, I'm just going to stun out to the center of the table. I'm not going to worry about trying to pull the cue ball back up towards it. This eight ball is pretty easy from anywhere on the table. Now here I'm going to use bottom left-hand English. Now the bottom is going to cause the cue ball to start to come back this way, and the left is going to cause is going to be against the spin, so it's going to have the effect of killing it on the rail to get this nice leave on the nine ball. And there you go. Rack number one down. Let's move on to rack number two. I know I've missed a couple of days of daily break and run, and that's because I'm working on the next key concept video. This one's going to be really important. I'm going to talk about how everybody's getting the concept of tangent line wrong. Technically, they're right about what it is, but they're using it wrong. And I'm going to show you how and why that's true. So in the Semi-Pro Ghost, I am using the template rack with the. So made the seven in the corner, made the wing. Got kind of a long shot on the one. Now, on this one, I want to stay away from the other balls. Everything's out nice. I don't want to touch anything. And the way to do that is when I shoot the one in the side, um, it's going to naturally move between the three and the five ball. So if I put a little bit of draw on this, just to get it a little flatter into that rail, it'll come off the rail a little it'll come off the rail softer. The and it allows me to hit it at speed. Um, Now, I hit this just a little bit harder than I meant to hit it, and the cue ball comes down and bumps the two. Now, you're going to see me foul here. What happened is I hit the boom of the camera with the back of the cue, and it causes the camera to start moving, and the boom comes down and hits the stick a second time and causes me to touch the cue ball. I gave myself a mulligan for that one. It's a tough shot anyhow. It's a very thin cut. I'm going to run into the nine. Nothing I can do about that. So all I want to do is make sure that I get the cue ball somewhere out in the open. Um, and I do. So now it's a long shot on the three down the table. Followed by, this is a stun shot on the four to get back on the five. Okay, just enough to get up. I'm just going to roll the five in and roll the cue ball back over to the side of the table the six is on. Now on the six, I'm going to have a choice, and I think I made the wrong choice here. So typically I'll go forward on this and go around three rails and come down the natural line of the eight. Here I draw it with bottom left, and I almost pay the price for that choice. Going forward on that is a whole lot less risky, but today's in tournament play today, you see them drawing everything. So I've been trying to do more of what they're doing, not because I believe in it, but because it seems to be working for them. I should have gone forward on that six ball. But anyhow, so here's the end of rack number 2. That's 2 consecutive break and runs. All right, and let's rack up. By the way, so above the semi-pro ghost, my next step would be the pro ghost. And the pro ghost, you move the rack up so the nine's on the rack. If you don't make a ball on the break or you scratch on the break, you lose. If you do make a ball on the break, then, if you miss, you lose. Okay, so, like I said, I was playing the semi-pro ghost, which allows you to not make a ball on the break. And to just shoot from position, which is what I'm going to do here. So I've already had a natural 2-pack, and this rack is rack number 3 in a row. Shoot the 1 in, nothing hard there. So the 3 makes this pocket a little bigger, but if you hit the 3, it moves. And so I kind of try to go a medium speed, so if the 3 does get hit, it'll come out. I stop the cue because the 3 is going to definitely go the way that it did go. I'm on the wrong side of the 3, so I have to draw for position on the 4. I was looking at going forward, but the 7 gets hit if I go forward. So draw to the rail and back out to the center for the 4. Not really concerned about anything on the 5 or the 6. I just want to get an angle on the 6 to get to the 7. This is a drag draw shot. I want to make sure I don't roll too far. All right, here I'm going to stretch out. And as I'm doing it, I'm thinking to myself, I shouldn't be stretching. I shouldn't be stretching, but it's an easy shot, so I get away with it. I should have gotten the bridge there. I didn't. All right, so I much prefer going forward on that shot. I would rather be below the 6, shoot forward, and just come up on the natural angle for the 7 than to try to draw out of that position or stun it up the table. Okay, again here, I'm going to go forward. I go a little bit too far forward. So my plan had been to cut the 8 in the side and get the straight in lead for the 9. Now I'm looking at the cut, and I realize I'm straight in for this bank, and if I bank it, I can just stop the cue ball. And there it is, and then cut the 9 in for rack number 3. And again, natural 2-pack, but this is a 3-pack playing under the rule set that I was playing under. And here we go into rack number 4. Okay, so the Pro Ghost is you move the 9 up onto the spot. You don't get ball in hand. You have to shoot everything where it lies. If you miss, you lose. If you scratch on the break, you lose. If you don't make a ball on the break, you lose. All right, so the Touring Pro Ghost is meant to simulate the alternating break format, and that is you have the 9 on the break, you're breaking from the box. If you don't make a ball, you lose not just that rack, you lose 2 racks. Anytime you miss, you lose 2 racks, and that is because the ghost is going to break and the ghost is going to run the next rack. It's very hard. Top players would have trouble with that ghost. So anyhow, all right, so I've got the leave on the 2. I'm going to roll up into the open space, but on the 3, I'm going to go off the 2 rails and into the line of the 3. Now the 4 ball really only has the 1 pocket, the side pocket. So I'm going to draw, kill it on the rail, and get a straight in shot on the 4 in the side. It's actually a little straighter than I would have liked. But it's fine because it's not going to cause me to have to pass the 7. Okay, so now I'm shooting at distance over the 7. I can't reach it. I'm going to go get the bridge. I'm an idiot. I have 3 bridges. I grabbed the one that's the moose head stuck on top of a house cue, which has the tip poking out. And you can see I'm having trouble adjusting it, and the head is moving as I'm stroking. So I've got the easy out here. All I have to do is make this 5. I don't make the 5. Had I made the 5, I've got the angle on the 6 to just stun out off the rail for the 7 in the side, stop the ball, and shoot the 9 in the